Hello everybody, welcome back to the second part of the Sligo Summer School Introduction to Rhythm Guitar course with Shane McGowan. My name is Shane McGowan, of course. Right, so yesterday we tried to do as much with jigs as we could in 20 minutes, and today we're going to try and do as much with reels as we can in 20 minutes. So a few things just to get us going. I'm using drop D tuning, same as yesterday, but it doesn't matter if you're using drop D, DAGAD, or standard tuning, or whatever tune you use, because most of the techniques we're using, or the little hints and tips, or whatever you want to call them, are largely to do with the right hand. There's a few left hand things, but they're completely applicable to any tuning you're using. So right, let's get started. So my basic reel rhythm, the best thing I use for most of the time is very simple in the right hand. It's just basically this. It's just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up continuously. Now there is a few things that I throw in, and I'll show you in a few minutes. But we'll just start with this one. It's just basically this. That's basically it. Of course, when you speed that up, it'll be. Okay. Right. So if you play it like that, basically with no emphasis on any of the beats, that's how it sounds. But what we do is we kind of divide it into four. Now I'm already getting complicated probably only, but remember yesterday that we were saying for jigs that a good way of remembering the rhythm, especially for kids, is say rashers and sausages, rashers and sausages. Like a jig was rashers and sausages, rashers and sausages, rashers and sausages, rashers and sausages, rashers. It's actually harder to say rashers and sausages than it is to play the jig. It is for me anyway. So a good way to remember the rhythm and kind of the feel of a reel in the basics. A great way to remember the rhythm and feel of reels in their basic sense is this one is Black and Decker, 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 like the drill or whatever. Black and Decker, 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 Black and Decker. And basically all that is that if you divide it into four parts, like 1, 2, 3, 4, we're just putting an emphasis on the two. So it's 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So mostly it's on the two. But you can put it on any beat, if you know what I mean. If you want to put it on the threes, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. You can put it on the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can put it on the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That kind of thing. Now you'd be wondering where would you stick these, and we haven't had time to go through much of that, but if you take a tune like Fred Fenn's, and when it's played really slowly, it's gorgeous as well. So a tune like that. So if I'll try and hum it as best I can. I didn't get any All Irelands for humming, so, or in fact I never got an All Ireland for anything. But if you go da 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 well, that's as far as I'll go, because no, but that's when I do it on the tree. Now you're not when you learn this stuff, you're not going to be thinking about it hopefully at all. You'll hear it. Just kind of changes the groove. And if you speed that up into a it'll probably be. Now, it might be played that fast, but like that's more or less on the tube, you know. So that's just a few examples how it changes things just by. So you can use 1, 2, 3 or 4. They're all different emphasis you can put. Like you can also, like if you go, that's going really heavy on it. So that changes it as well. Like the harder you hit the different beats, like it's almost sacrilegious to say this, but it is very simple. It's very similar to the kind of rhythm you'll hear in bluegrass a lot. It's just that we don't tend to hit the beats as hard. So you have to be careful that you don't want it to end up sounding too countryish. Be very careful with that. So you have to listen all the time. Listen. Also try your best not to speed up and slow down. That's very important. Another thing is, of course, like I was doing with the right hand yesterday, if you use it kind of as a percussive instrument, or think of it as a percussive instrument, or kind of like a bowron maybe, a subtle, well played bowron. If you, like your hands lifting up and down off the bridge of the guitar will also give it a, like you can go like this. That instantly makes the guitar very loud. So if you just like lightly now, not very lightly, you get that kind of a sound. What I tend to do as well on the bass notes, just the way I play it, this is not a rule now at all, but I've just figured out that I kind of sometimes hit the bass with a bit of a mute nearly all the time, and then kind of open up the guitar by lifting my hand for the top note, so it's kind of that kind of thing. See, if you combine all these things on their own are very simple, but if you combine them, you know, you can get a lot of mileage out of a couple of chords, because you find in Irish music you have to really concentrate on the rhythm, because some of the tunes don't have that many chords in them. Like that's true of a lot of great music like blues and different things. So you have to really, you know, you might be in D for a long time. I mean, a long time as in a couple of seconds, but it's a long time in music. So these things are all important. Like as opposed to being stuck on this for the whole. Like as opposed to being stuck on that, you know, like just little things like changing the way you play the D over here now, which is for another day, but we might sneak on another video some other time about the left hand. I'm going to show you a few small left hand tricks, but not to do with chords today, because we just simply haven't time. But even if you just stay on that normal D, like instead of just being stuck doing this all the time, like even if you just change it to that, you know, and just that's all I'm doing over there now is just a combination of mixing all the things that I've just showed you together. But like one of the big ones is the lift of the hand. And then if you make it into the big chord, which I would recommend, if you look at when you can slow down your video, even if you're playing Dagad, drop D or standard, there's a version of that big chord. It makes a big difference, especially in D. But again, we haven't time to go through chords, but just to show you a simple one. Right, I'm going to show you a little trick as well. This off one of the things that we did yesterday. Is it rarely happens in reeds, but it can be a nice effect, is to do it backwards. And it's only the odd time. What I do is I might be playing like this, So what I do is I throw a jig rhythm in, maybe just here and there. Again, like there's no hard and fast rules about where to put it. A lot of us do it experience. It's like just basically this. I better slow that down because I'm barely able to do it myself. So it's like this. So when you throw the jig rhythm in, kind of sometimes it makes it reverses your hand. But again, I only do it like for a split second. I'd never leave myself playing backwards, because at the speed you'd be playing reels and it'd be very difficult. That's just a little trick. Now the other little thing, of course, is get your right hand, or your left hand, sorry. Get your left hand. I do call it breathing, because you're kind of breathing in time with that kind of thing. So again, if we just D and D, see if you just even started strumming along with that. See? Just gives you a slightly different sound. So now you see I'm hammering on here along with it's all adding to the rhythm, and then when you learn your chords all over the place, which we can't do now again, but you know, that kind of thing. See, what I'm really doing is get my hand in a cramp, like by holding it down all the time, because that's very important. But again, I don't do that all the time either. I mix all these things up. Just pause it there for a minute, Ryan. Yeah, there's another thing you can do, which is kind of a more advanced one of the thing I was showing you with the, I'll call it the hand breathing or hammering on. It's actually kind of it's more of a bouzouki thing. Alec Finn used to use it a lot of the bouzouki, but you can approach it, or you can use it on the guitar. Again, I don't want to get too much into exact notes here, depending on what tune you're using. But it's basically whatever tune you're using. You can definitely use this in any tune, in any of this one. So it's like a hammer on along with your strum. So if you combine all these things, like you could start really simply in a tune and go. That kind of thing, and then you could use your other one, which is, see, you give it I'll try and hum again now for the crack. No laughing, please. Right, so down, I'm gonna do this. That's the tune we'll do, so. Right, and then I'll change it up to this one. keeping these really short now because we're actually running out of time. Another one would be. And then if you're playing it faster, I think this one kind of, when you're doing on the two, kind of usually suits faster music or makes it sound faster anyway. Now that's without breathing. And if we make it breathe. And that's enough humming for now, I think. There are just a few examples. Like, I'm trying to think, is there another? Again, oh yeah, if you do what I was doing yesterday, and this is like when you're beginning, it's a really great idea. If you want to just, for practice purposes, isolate your right hand. There is a few things, like that up and down strum is kind of, it's easy. But if you're adding some of the jig rhythms I did yesterday too, which you should try and do, like, and some of them will work, some of them will leave you playing backwards. But as long as you correct yourself, now I'll show you what I mean by playing backwards when we isolate it. So, right, so this is our basic thing, which is just down up, which is, right, that's your basic one. That's just no emphasis at all. And then the emphasis was like the Black and Decker, which is 1, 2, and Decker. Decker, Black and Decker. That was your 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then if you go on to 3, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. See? It's really. Then on the 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And on the 1, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. But you can change that up as well. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. See? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. See? 1, 2. That kind of thing. Now you could be at this all day because you can mix them all together, you see. That's another one. Now you might say, where would you ever use them in Irish music? But you actually can, so long as you probably, what I would never probably do is stick on that one all the time. You'd probably be going down. That kind of a thing. But you can also add your jig, some of the jig stuff. That's getting. Yeah, there's another one as well. Again, like you see, there's so many examples. That's using the stuff from yesterday as well as today. So like they're all interchangeable, if that's the word. I suppose we're nearly done here now. I'd just like to thank Marion Hanley on the sound of general production, up to Sean Haughey, everybody at the south side of Sligo Summer School. Sorry for the bad English there. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and any questions, if you want to send them in to the South Sligo Summer School Facebook or the website, or whatever it is, we'll answer them in time. And if the sheets need or that, we can get them off to you. So hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much.